Amid the ceasefire, pro-Russian rebels in Ukraine are trying to keep busy. Some are playing with their dogs, others are focusing on honing their military skills, including trying out new weapons. Meantime, Russia is preparing for a new round of military exercises near the border with Ukraine, and it's holding naval exercises in the Black, Barents, and Baltic Seas. For its part, NATO is conducting naval drills in the Black Sea and will soon deploy more troops to the Baltic countries. Given all of that, consider this question. What sort of dynamic would there be if the European Union had its own army? That's exactly what the president of the EU Commission is proposing. CCTV's Jack Barton has insight.
The European Union has common security, defence and foreign policies, but the bloc doesn't have a single military force to back them. So it's time the EU had an army, says European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker. The idea has the support of the European Federalist Party.
If you look at the spending of today's member states, we realize that we spend 1/3 of the US, but our capability is much more limited than that. So there's a clear need today to, on the one hand, reduce duplications and therefore to pool our resources together to be more effective, at the same time to reduce cost.
Supporters say the EU military would bolster, not replace NATO. There's already growing military cooperation in Europe. This month, Berlin announced that a battalion of 600 German soldiers will come under Polish command next year, while in return, a battalion of Polish soldiers will be under the control of the German army. But support for an EU military remains limited.
The EU army proposition is really, you can dream, but is it really the role of the Commission President to dream at this stage, or shouldn't we rather focus on the most pressing issues?
Defence analyst Stephen Blockmans agrees, though a new report he has authored calls for urgently needed integration between defence industries, institutions and military forces.
Because of the economic and financial crisis and austerity measures, member states have largely in an uncoordinated fashion slashed their defence budgets and hollowed out their armies.
The crisis in Ukraine is causing a policy rethink.
In times of tight budgets, obviously asking for more military spending is always a difficult shot and a difficult endeavor. At the same time, I do think that in quite a number of capitals, people reconsider this because of the more recent tensions with Russia.
Even with those tensions, the only EU country currently spending more than 2% of its GDP on defence is tiny Estonia. Jack Barton, CCTV, Brussels.